Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning with God. Unfortunately, yesterday when I was reading until 40, I didn't realize that 41 was the end of book one. Otherwise, I would have read it. So today we're only going to read that one, and then I'm going to give a little bit of my opinion of how it has been the first 41 verses of book one of Psalms. Let's get started. So let's get started with 41. Today I should be reading better because I'm wearing my glasses as well. So it says, to the choir master, a psalm of David, blessed is the one who considers the poor. In the day of trouble, the Lord delivers him. The Lord protects him and keeps him alive. He is called blessed in the land. You do not give him up to the will of his enemies. The Lord sustains him on his sick bed. In his illness, you restore him to full health. As for me, I say, O Lord, be gracious to me, heal me, for I have sinned against you. My enemies said of me in my list, when will he die and his name perish? And when one comes to see me, he utters empty words while my heart gathers iniquity. When he goes out, he tells it abroad. All who hate me whisper together about me. They imagine the worst of for me. They say, a deadly thing is poured out on him. He will not rise again from where he lies. Even my close friends in whom I trusted, who hate my bread, has lifted his heels against me. But you, O Lord, be gracious to me, and raise me up that I might repay them. By this I know that you delight in me. My enemy will not shout in triumph over me. But you have upheld me because of my integrity and set me in your presence forever. Blessed be the Lord, the God of Israel, from everlasting to everlasting. Amen and amen. All right, so first of all, I'm so confused because I didn't know it will end on 41. And as well, um, I was trying to think on my brain that this will be the end of David. That's why book one finished. But I just move a little bit ahead, and I think it's 50 something that again it says Psalm of David. I'm like, oh, so we're not done with David. They just, why are they carrying books? Can you answer that for me, please? Like, what's the reason of the books? When I grew up, I was told the Bible is the story of God. Is the story of God, story of Jesus. So the fact for me that there is all of this other stuff, I mean, I don't know. It sounds silly because when I was a kid, I watched movies, like my parents used to watch movies about Moses and everything, but I thought everything was happening at the same time. This is how naive I was as a kid. You need to think that that was my way of thinking. And yeah, religion is very difficult to explain how it is in there to how it is in here. Okay, I just don't know how to properly explain it sometimes because it doesn't make sense. I go to church on Sundays and I try to tell them, and I'm like, stop talking to me like if I'm supposed to know everything because I know nothing. Please stop. Quit it. Leave it. I agree to the fact that I should have been reading 10 or 5 at least in one go from the beginning because again, sometimes I will have read I did the first 10 individually. I'll read one, I'm like, okay, and then now what? But when you read more of them, you get like a sense of different messages. And then I will pinpoint lines from one, I will pinpoint lines from other. So it's kind of makes sense somehow. The thing for me is I don't understand why somebody will suggest me to read Psalms, which they're like, yeah, it's mean a lot. My ADHD brain is telling me all the time, who is David? Do you know who David is? You know in which part of the story David fall? You know in whose like Genesis, Exodus, whatever is the other ones. We're talking about a David. Now my job, before I can even think of anything else, is to find out who this David is. I'm not here to teach anything. I'm not here to preach anything. I'm just sharing my experience of a mom with very curious, very new in faith children asking a million questions, wanting to know everything. Because later on we go to church and they're like, Mom, have you read that already? Mom, do you know what it means? It's true that our Reverend, he connects the Bible a lot with things that are happening right now in life, and that makes very easy the understanding, because he will come and say, okay, today we're gonna focus on this on the Bible. So then I go, I say I'm there on the first line paying attention, because if I sit on the back I get distracted by people, so I need to be on the front. Nobody can distract me, there's nothing in front of me more than him. And the screens, but the screens are still and they don't show anything, so it's easy peasy for me to focus. And my children, who as well, they suffer ADHD. Anyhow, I look for it, and then while he's sometimes talking about things, I'm like, whatever, that has nothing to do with the Bible. I mean, his examples of, he brings so many things going on around the world as the example of what they mean. I'm like, I gotcha. When I meet one that I understand what he means, I'm like, okay, let me continue. And then I go boom, 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 and I read it so I understand it. And it makes it a lot easier for me to get it and then explain it to my kids, if that makes sense. But anyway, thank you so much for passing by in this really quick and short ending Psalms book 1. Get ready for tomorrow when we're going to start Psalms book 2, verse 42. That is even difficult for me to say. God bless you. Talk tomorrow.